Talking with you, a treat to be here, sharing gratitude with you. Ooh, we got the volume on. That means everybody hear me twice. But your morning is bland. Two of me is a nice spice. Good morning, good morning, good morning, yeah. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Love Morning. I am John Halcyon. This is our daily practice of being a love ambassador in the world. Thank you for joining me in this pursuit of love ambassadorshipness. I actually just sent out an email asking or sharing what I consider to be like the 10 principles or the 10 tenets of being a love ambassador. And so if you're on my mailing list, you should have got that this morning. And I would love to hear if they resonate with you, or if you think any of them are repetitive, or if you think, I don't know. I would love to hear feedback. I think it's like a living document. I edited it this morning right before I sent it. I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. So I should probably tell you what those things say, so that you know if you're consensually joining Love Ambassador Morning. But as I sent out to the participants of weekend's Love Ambassador Summit, you don't have to agree with any of this stuff. It's a working document. These are things to be discussed, and it's just kind of, these are things that help me set my sails for the day. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Abigail. Good morning, Moosecock. Good morning, Razorblade. And good morning, Chris. This is my bandana to hide my neck brace. Am I stylish? That's my goal. Great morning, Jason. Yes. Good morning, Pierre. Hello. I am enjoying a very sunny, crisp morning in San Diego. Crisp for us. I took the garbage out and I was like, ooh, I might have to put on socks today. Winter in flip-flops is doable in San Diego. So it's Monday. Yes, good morning. Monday. It is I'm still having pain from my pinched nerve healing, and it's healing slowly, but it is at a level that allows me to be functional. It's actually kind of a dangerous place where I'm kind of pushing, I'm having trouble just doing nothing. Whereas for the previous 3 weeks, I was lying on my back and watching Netflix while on the ground. That was it. And now, as I'm starting to feel like I can work and the pain is totally manageable, I'm really motivated to do a bunch of things. And since I have this workshop that I'm doing this weekend that I'm just getting more and more excited about, I keep going, ooh, I want to do that. Ooh, do this. Ooh, and I have all these videos that I'm in the middle of. And so my forearm is like throbbing right now from doing way too much computer work when I should be resting. Good morning, Dream Upright. Happy New Year. Good morning, Pretty Poison. Good morning, Dow Girl. So I had 2 topics that I said I was going to talk about today. One is male tears, and the other is the word gangbang. And which should we talk about first? And if you got some gratitude to share, I would love to hear it. First, I will share some gratitude. Good morning, Pink Chair, and good morning, Amy and Danny. Say hello if you're here. If you want to let us know where you are physically and something you're grateful for, that would be awesome. Good morning, Izzy, John. Well, and I'm on several socials right now, so if you hear me saying hello to somebody and you don't see their name, well, it's just because I talk to imaginary people. Let's see. Hurting. Good morning, Mingle. Yeah. Man, so many things. Oh, I've just got so many videos that I'm in the middle of, and I just uploaded. Oh, I have a bunch to share. This week is going to be packed with updates. So if you are following me, I hope you're following me and getting my mailing list. And whatever you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I hope, because I got just a bunch of good fun stuff today or this week. Amy is grateful for the upcoming Pinky gatherings this weekend. Yes, the Pink Heart fundraiser is this Saturday night in San Diego, California at Spin. It is an annual thing we do. It is super fun. It is a playa love vibe. We'll have a cuddle area, just like the Pink Dome at Burning Man. We'll have great music, good people. The Hug Deli is going to be there. I keep forgetting that. Oh my God. It's going to be so awesome. So I'm excited about that. If you're in San Diego, to come to the Pink Party on Saturday night. And if you're going to be in the area and you want to go deep with me and some other love ambassadors, I'm doing my first ever in-person workshop on Saturday for real hugs and love ambassador connection. This is why I'm so excited. I also was practicing this look because I think I'm going to wear this to the party, the neck thing, because I know I'm going to want to hug people, and solid hugs are a little painful for me if they make my neck and back move too much. So I think this is going to be my kind of like hug protection. Mm-mm. Good morning, Faith. Good morning, Jennifer. Hi. And Plasmic. Good morning, Dragon Light. Hello to you in cold and rainy Eugene, Oregon. And hello, Sarah. It is sunny, 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 sunny. In fact, if you remember yesterday, I had a camera that it got tons of glare, so we couldn't even see from it. But let's see if this works. Yeah. So actually, to make this work, I have like a a holiday card that was sent to me clamped to a piece of paper over the window to trying to keep the sun from blazing onto my camera here. Ooh, from this angle, you can tell that I am an elder. These are this is how you know I have had a good life. Look at all those smile lines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty Poison says, grateful to be awake in time for this. And I'm grateful for you, John. You are cherished. Thank you. Um, and yes, hug protection can be a good thing. And I'm against anti-hug, and this isn't really anti-hug. It's a protective. Like if someone like gifts me an amulet or a necklace, first thing I check is like, does this inhibit hugging? Tons of cool like crystals and stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna wear this because it's a hug impeder. Welcome first on the floor, and Louis Biza and Miss Ginger Fox. Hello, Miss Ginger Fox. How nice to see you. Okay, so I was going to share about male tears and the word gangbang, but no one picked either one. Or that's surprising. Maybe I think everyone wants to hear about gangbang and is just afraid to say it. Okay, so if you watched the New Year's Day broadcast that I did with Lisa, I did this whole stick about why 24 is my favorite number, and it's the sluttiest of all the numbers. Actually, I edited it into a fun little reel that I'm going to post later today. But it's kind of like, look, there's no other number that when any number comes up to it and says, "Hey, can I get into you?" It's like, yeah. Divided by 2, divided by 3, yeah. Divided by 4, divided by 6, yeah. Divided by 8, 12, I mean, pretty much the only number that doesn't get invited to the 24 gangbang is 13. So I did something like that. That was and I shared it with someone who was bothered by the use of the word gangbang. And I'm curious if any of you have a reaction to that word. because this person and they later explained to me that they'd been reading some horrible things in the news about gang rape that was happening in different parts of the world, and so they their perception was they couldn't think of of a situation where, someone would want to be gangbanged, and I was like, "Wow, well, that is actually I'm glad you told me this because I didn't even occur to me that gangbang is inherently negative or could be perceived inherently negative." Um, and I'll show you a couple of the reasons why. One, I mean, I've been in very progressive sexual circles for most of my life. In fact, I have a friend, Tristan Tormiano. If you know the name I'm talking about, she's a director and she wrote the book Opening Up, and but she does workshops and she was actually publicizing workshops online on like how to organize a gangbang. And Zoe is sharing. Oops. Gangbang is a very naughty word, but I don't think it's a bad word. Gangbangs can certainly be consensual, right? And that is I that is where my head was at. Um, and so the reasons are one because of this friend Tristan who does workshops about it, uh, and also one of the most significant moments of sexual awakening of my life was in a workshop, a conversation that was happening at the Lifestyles Convention in Reno, Nevada, I believe, um, many years ago. And as people were going around the room, they were sharing their kinks. Oh, I should say this is not for. I guess by saying the word gangbang, you know that this is not for children, and you probably are going to stop watching if you don't want to be exposed to this. Um, and people were going around the room and just sharing uh, their perspectives. But excuse me, not their perspectives. It, they introduced themselves and kind of what their kink was, and so it was like, and I'll share the whole story because it's it changed my life. The first couple was like, "Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Susie, and Susie really likes playing with women, and so usually I just watch, but every once in a while, if it's very clear, they'll invite me to join them, but usually that's our situation, and so we used to play with another woman. The next couple uh, was something similar. The third couple was like, I'm Greg, and this is Veronica, and Veronica likes gangbangs. And so we put an ad out in the local paper every once in a while, and excuse me, the local, uh, I guess like a personal ad. Now I can't remember what it was. Like at the time, they're like swingers papers, and we organize 7 to 10 guys to come over, and you know I'm okay with them, and he lists off some sexual things that he was fine with. He goes, "As long as they don't kiss her." Like, that to me, that's intimacy that I'm uncomfortable with that. And I was like, "Oh, wow. I've never wow." And then but that isn't the one that blew my mind. It was the next person, the next couple, and they were probably late 50s, early 60s, although that number seems younger and younger the older I get, I was late 20s. This is back when I had long hair. And, and the guy, he's like, "I'm Andrew, and this is Paulina, and I love Paulina more than anything in the world, and I would do anything for her. If she wanted a taste of an exotic pear, I would swim an ocean and climb a mountain to pick it for her and bring it to her. And the one thing that I can't give her is the tingly, exciting feeling of a new lover, and so I joyfully give her those experiences." And I was like, That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard, and he's talking about letting other men have sex with his wife, and it totally blew my mind. I had never heard of compersion before. I didn't understand that, and so this was, 20 years ago or something, more than 20 years ago, and totally changed my life, and so because of that story, I've always had in the back of my mind this consensual gangbang is something that some people are into. And if you've never known someone who's into consensual gangbang, you just might assume that it is something for porn, and only time anyone would do it is if they're being paid for it. So I totally get it. Um, so I understand if you think my 2024 gangbang numerical joke isn't funny, I'll understand. But I hope through this dialogue, you open your mind and say, "Oh, maybe there are other ways to think about it." In the same way that if you never knew anybody that was into BDSM, you might think that being tied up and whipped is inherently wrong or dirty or degrading until you meet people or experience it. You're like, "Oh, this can be a very spiritual and profound expression of intimacy." I hope I didn't offend anyone. This is Love Morning. It is a place of sharing gratitude and also whatever the thoughts are in my head. So that the two big ones that were I woke up thinking I wanted to share was about gangbangs and male tears. So I will move on and hope that I didn't offend anybody too much. Welcome, Brent, in Central Florida. Good to see you. uh, E Bandwagon says, agreed. It's the sexiest thing and very romantic. You're talking about BDSM. I'm more in a DS is my way. I like to think of it as dominance and submission. I'm not really into inflicting pain or receiving pain, but I am into sensations and very into power play. Right. BDSM has become quite mainstream, says Pretty Poison. Who knows how soon gangbangs will be mainstream? Hopefully not right away. Bob says sarcastically, it is dirty, wrong, and degrading, but that's what makes it so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna switch now into any gratitudes that you want to share, and I guess I'll take a break between these topics with some gratitudes of my own. Um, First, sharing that uh, Gerbot says that there's a great documentary called Kink about BDSM. Highly recommended, even if you're not into it or not familiar with it. Cool. Thank you for that recommendation. Uh, Chris says, "Whoop whoop for the power play." I just saw an interview. It was on the festival podcast, talking a woman who trains dominatrixes and said that she views BDSM as a tool for practicing Buddhism and surrender and letting go. And it is a way to viscerally practice concepts that are hard to touch and feel when you just hear the words let go. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Good morning, Crow Girl. Long time no see. Good morning. Happy New Year. Okay, so male tears. It was a theme for me the last 48 hours. One, watched the movie Maestro with Lisa and cried many times. And actually, I guess it started during New Year's. There was a time I was just I was holding Lisa, the sun was setting, and she started singing. And if you've heard her voice, I mean, she's a pro. It's angelic. And I just was sitting in this place of gratitude for this partnership and and then to hear that this angelic voice was coming out of this person that was my person and this was my life. I just started crying and it was just so wonderful. that started it, and then watching the movie Maestro, I cried a lot, and being aware that love stories and tragedy within love stories is hits a lot harder now that I'm in a place where I feel like I have a life partner. And it's so great. She is so supportive. I mean, it's almost unfair. Like if I cry, she it melts. It's almost like me doing a lap dance in a G-string for her when she sees me cry. Welcome, Charles, and welcome, the divine artist and Her Majesty. And then two other things happen. One, I saw a people sharing a video with Theo Vaughn, the comedian who's got the accent and kind of sometimes sounds like he's from the backwoods. But he on his show, he had a guest, a man who started sharing about his childhood and started crying. And it's being shared as an example of like beautiful space holding for male emotion. Because the guy cried, the guest cried, and Theo was super cool and just held space and was like, "Let it out, man," you know, and just was and did not discourage him or like, "Oh man, don't cry," and and just let him go through the feelings and then talked about it, and it was really a beautiful example of more of what we need. We don't have enough examples. People feel very uncomfortable when they see a man cry. I've cried publicly many times and try to share it whenever I can because we need to break that uh, taboo and that discomfort. For example, I posted a video last year of reacting to the Hey Ren or Hi Ren music video, which if you haven't seen, check it out or watch my reaction video to it, where I just start bawling. And it's so beautiful song. It's so emotional. It so brings up so many deep questions and thoughts and our own demons and many people have shared that it affects them emotionally. And so I posted my crying video that went viral and has like 40,000 views or something like that. And then it was reposted on TikTok and I keep getting people reaching out and saying, "Hey, I thought like, oh, cool. I'm glad the thing that everyone's seeing me go viral with is crying." Actually, it compared to how many people watch the weirdo video, it's just a fraction. So I'm not complaining. I'm proud to be a weirdo that cries. And I got an email yesterday or a message, a comment from on my video that like I was saying, when I watched this Ren video, I was so moved and I so felt the need to cry, but I couldn't. I was so much old shame and embarrassment and judgment, and I just couldn't. My body wouldn't let it out. And then I rewatched it with as your reaction, and as you cried, I I felt permission and I let it out, and I just had this beautiful experience of crying and thanking you. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. Yeah. I think just like gangbangs, that male crying is better to be discussed and done openly so that we can understand and not be afraid and understand that it's okay. It's okay. Maybe that was a bad comparison. Charles says it took me 20 years until I felt free to cry. It's it really if you it's c there's certain aspects of the human experience that when you constrict them, it constricts other things that you wouldn't think. The process of of being a love ambassador, of being radically self-expressive, of allowing yourself to be rather than trying to control who you are, and that it touches us in so many parts of our lives, from crying to the way that we look and sound during sex to, uh, everything. There's so many to the thoughts that we have. Like, if you have thoughts that feel dirty or feel shameful and you judge yourself and, like, try not to think that way or an emotion that you're like, I don't wanna be embarrassed." You're the the act of suppressing suppresses everywhere. So the pipeline to divinity, to inspiration, to the collective unconscious, to resources and energy and creativity that is deeper than what we can conjure when we try with our ego minds. That pipeline is constricted every time we try to control the truth. By the truth, meaning the tears, the emotion, the arousal, whatever it is that we're trying to craft instead of allow. So that is a huge part of my life as art is trying to continually check in and like, am I crafting this or am I allowing this? And it's always a little bit of both, I think. Even as I'm saying this, I'm crafting the words. I did my hair this morning. I put some more dye in the back, crafting my appearance. But I'm crafting it, I believe, more in line with an inner desire of how I want to express, as opposed to trying to look the way I think I should from an external uh, pressure. It's not black and white though, because any I there is a pressure from exterior perception. I was, as I changed the camera a minute ago, and you know, as I saw my side and I saw my wrinkles, it, I it's partially I'm observing myself, and then partially being aware that oh, this is the way I am seen. I don't normally see myself from this angle, so like oh, this is I am this is a combination of me allowing and crafting the way that I'm dressed, the way I've done my hair, the way I groom, the way I speak. But ideally, we get to a place where we are trying to be as less thought as possible in the way that we respond to things. I have a feeling that I am not making a lot of sense today, and people are wandering off into their days. Tears and gangbangs and pink-haired men. This is hardly a way to start a revolution. If you are here, there's just a few more minutes to share gratitude, and then we will have a hug and go off into our days. I'm going to be recording an episode of Stay Spark today with Yanis and Betsy. I urge you to check out the latest episode, Stay Spark. It's available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and even YouTube. Welcome, Gamers Gourmet. Thanks, Gerbot. Um, I am grateful for my continually healing body. Grateful for all of the outpouring of support and suggestions and advice that people have been giving. I am grateful, so grateful for my partner, Lisa, who is out of town, and so grateful for the level of communication and appreciation that we share for each other. My gratitude practice does not end when I turn off this camera. I really try to make it a part of my relationship and everything. But really, I've never been in a relationship where vocalizing gratitude is such a huge part of the way that we relate. And it allows conversations to be really deep and allows us to share so much because when we know there's so many things we appreciate each other, it's so much easier to share the things that might be tougher to say. So I'm grateful for you. Thanks for sharing this morning with me. If you are not on my mailing list, get on it. And if you see some of the content that I'm going to be posting in the next week, please leave a comment. Help other people see it. If you leave a comment, the algorithm uh, starts to think, "Oh, maybe this has value. I'll put it in front of other people." So, I thank you in advance for that. So wherever you are, give yourself a big squeeze and appreciate this body that you're in. Appreciate all those that are connecting this moment in a place of intention, that we are embracing each other, supporting each other, recognizing we're more alike than we are different, recognizing that we're all seeking to be love ambassadors in our own way. Let's lift each other up and spread good ripples in the world. Take a deep breath in together and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you love ambassadors, thanks for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. And if you're on my mailing list, check out the 10 principles of the Love Ambassador Manifesto that I just sent out. And jot down or number which one is your favorite or which one makes you go, okay, I'm going to be thinking about that one. Or if you don't like them, or if I made a typo, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Hey, hello, Carl. Good to see you. Thank you, Gerbot. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone who has joined us this morning. Go rock this day in whatever way. And maybe rocking this day just means self care. A professional athlete is still a professional athlete if they're just icing their knee and staying in bed. Sometimes love ambassadors got to eat ice cream on the sofa and watch Netflix. Thank you, Pretty Poison. Happy Monday, everyone.